Radio Rahim in Hollywood, clearly in Hollywood with Johnny Nelson.
Check out these feet.
Well, you are taking this LA thing a bit far, man. Look at these little peg pants and fucking sandals. Like,
I'm bringing a little something different to stateside. That's all, something different.
I feel like you might be defecting.
Oh, hell no. Oh, no. I went to Venice Beach yesterday. First time, I've been to LA so many times. It's the first time I've been to the beach. And I'm like, this is just like on TV. This is unbelievable. What a life. What a great life you can possibly have, you know. And, you know, it's one of those places where you think, wow. But you know what? It's just a nice experience.
Show some Brits a little LA sunshine, you'll never get them back. But
right.
What you came over for this time was a bit of an unusual main event, to be sure. You're a pro fighter. You've had your time in the ring. You fought your way to the top.
Where we going with this?
What is it like for you to see two guys debuting at the head of a card at this magnitude, never having had a single professional fight before in their lives?
This conjures up feelings of Mayweather-McGregor. McGregor, look how much he earned for his first professional fight. And you got fighters that were out there, professional boxers that were out there thinking, what, really? Now you've got two novices, two boys that want to play boxing. You can't play boxing. You play boxing, you're gonna get your ass bust. So these guys are now, the first time they fought in Manchester, I was involved in that. I saw these guys, I didn't know what a YouTuber was. And then I've realised you've got two guys that have got another career, that have stepped into our sport, stepped into our career. Now if they're gonna do that, there's gonna be a harsh lesson learned that if they don't prep right, if they don't do it right, it's not just the beating you get in the ring, it's the beating you get verbally, written, outside the ring. So what's at stake for these guys is not financial, because they're little millionaires already. What's at stake is their reputation is going to be hammered whenever they go on YouTube and post something out. Whatever happens in this fight Saturday night is going to haunt them for the rest of their life. As a fighter, you learn to get over this. You've got to deal with it. You've got to take the good with the bad, the criticism and everything. But these guys, because they're novices, people are going to see the difference between a Devin Haney and a Billy Joe Saunders and the top of the bill, and they'll think, wow, there's a massive gulf. Let's not get gassed. Let's not get silly and think and give these guys, put them in the same bracket of these guys. What they're doing is they're learning their trade. They manage to sell tickets. That's why the whole world's watching this. And that's the only reason why. So no matter what, you've got to like it or lump it, but it's a chance for us to learn about their game. It's a chance for us to think, right, how do I manage to capture and create so much attention for me? And I reckon you've got established fighters now that I look at and think, right, I've got to do that. I've got to become a character where people want to watch me.
Established fighters were clawing to get on this card for the visibility.
Exactly.
Now,
That's exactly the whole point.
First fight was an amateur boxing match. You couldn't expect a whole lot more. It was exciting. It ended in a draw. Both guys got off the hook a little bit.
Yeah, but if you know boxing, you think, really? But you look past that. Look past that and think, right, what do I do here? You know, you've got two novices. Now these boys are in 10-ounce gloves, no head guard. Last time they were in 12-ounce gloves, they had head guards on. You know when you put those 10-ounce gloves on in the dressing room and you're hitting your hand, you're thinking, ouch, this hurts. Right. Now, when they get hit, it's going to really hurt. They've got no head guards on to feel comfortable. They've got established people in the corner.
We've seen guys in pro debuts with 3 or 4 fights, no headgears, 10-ounce gloves, that are bums. Yeah. We've seen them on major cards. This is not quite that auspicious an occasion to see two debuting fighters with no headgear and small gloves. The question is, have they committed themselves to the sport?
Well,
have they earned your respect in a year's time?
That's what I'm saying. So now, these boys are playing it. When they tell me a year down the line that I'm now fighting now, I'm going to train to be a boxer. To be a boxer, you've got to be a selfish animal. Everything that's priority in your life is no longer a priority. They have a life already established. And so if they're going to try and tell me I'm going to be a professional fighter as a career, I will watch that, because you can't do the two. You can't play boxing. You can't run about and be a DJ all over the place like KSI was doing in preparation for a fight like this. When I heard that, I thought, this boy's not taking that serious, because there's no way he can train 2 or 3 times a day, prepped properly, correctly, if he's DJing. On tour, or doing a DJ tour whilst doing this. It don't make sense. I gather Logan Paul has, because he was the one now that says, listen to this one, he said, last year I wasn't in the right place, I was a vegan and I had a girlfriend. Now I'm not a vegan, I haven't got a girlfriend, now I'm right. I'm like, that is such a novice thing to say. But I know he's been training very hard. And the other thing is this, the likes of Shannon, Briggs and Co have attached themselves, the Mayweather have attached themselves to each fighter. So it's about the reputation of the people that have got involved with these. If I was Shannon Briggs and I was helping Logan Paul, I'd say, yo, listen, you make sure you do this right because I've connected myself to you, so my reputation's on you. So now I think both fighters have taken it serious. What I hear behind the background, behind the scenes in regards to preparation-wise, I hear Logan Paul has now been on it for 6-8 months. I hear KSI, he has been on it, but not as tight. He's been DJing, he's been distracted by his life outside of boxing. And that's what worries me, because I think, boys, you know what, you're going to find out the hard way. And the problem is, whenever you fight after this, whatever you do after this, when you do your job, you are going to get crucified from the result of Saturday night.
So knowing what you know about their preparation details and history in the last year, sounds like, are you picking Logan Paul for this one?
I'm picking Logan Paul, but you know what? Listen, it's a new world to me. I didn't even know what a YouTuber was. I feel unbelievably old. My little 6-year-old nephew is like, can't believe I'm meeting KSI. I'm like, really? Right. So we're all learning something new, and it's back to front. You've got two novices that have no professional experience but have the fan base, and our professional established fighters need to learn from this.
Right. Now you talk about the people who have surrounded this event. Shannon Briggs obviously is the trainer. A lot of people have come on. We've come on. Of course, we were there from the beginning. To be fair, gave them a chance. But I would say most of the people that are around this thing are around it to get what they can get from it.
Of course.
Not to get what they can give to it. But wait,
all these cameras here, they're here because of the numbers it generates. Not these two boys fighting. Let's be honest. Not talk foolishness.
Right.
We're looking at the attention it's created, the fans it's created. So everybody benefits if they can get the same audience, the same numbers when they post something out.
But for that to be the case, and it is, how much hype have we gotten at this point with just 2 days before the fight? We've heard Shannon Briggs say Logan Paul's going to be world champion in 5 years.
See, that's when you sell your soul
KSI's promising a knockout.
That's when you sell your soul to the devil. Because when Shannon said that, I went, yo, come on, man, don't do that. You know, we say a lot of BS before a fight, but don't do that, man, because it's not just about what you're saying, it's just about your credibility as well. So you got to just hold fire. Now, if these guys said, I'm going to have a career and be a professional fighter, this is what I'm going to do, be patient before you say something stupid like that. Because if I said something like that about Devin Haney in his second professional fight, people would be shooting me down. Right. But he's saying this about a YouTuber, boys, that's never really been in the depths, the cold waters of boxing. So and I know a lot of people here are uncomfortable with attaching themselves to this, but we've got to say how it is. These guys bring big numbers. These guys are raw novices, and they're dipping a toe in our sport. We can learn from their notoriety, from the numbers they've got, because of how they promote themselves. That's how we learn. We're not saying they're a Devin Haney. We're not saying they're a Billy Joe Saunders. It's not saying they're a Floyd Mayweather. We're saying these guys have managed to formulate the numbers that we want. So we've got to learn from how they've done it. Not what they do in the ring Saturday night. Right. We've got to learn from how they've managed to get so many cameras from around the world to watch something so big.
And lastly, I can't talk to you about this fight and not talk to you about established professional boxing, at least for a bit. We're barely a week away from Canelo Kovalev, a fight that was another fighter who could have been biting off more than he was able to chew.
Do not be surprised, and he might be watching this, and he might, do not be surprised if Andre Ward thought, oh yeah, all right, you say that. Because if they throw enough money at him, he'll be thinking, I'm still fight fit. I could fancy that. I fancy that. All of a sudden, you've got to play with that, you know, because there's only putting on some amazing fights together. And who'd have thought of this one before it was announced? So do not be surprised. I know it sounds foolish.
You're talking about Andre Ward, Canelo at 75. I think Ward's too smart for that.
All right, we'll find out. Ward has stepped out of our career unblemished, a great analyst, an excellent, judicious boxer, and I'm quite sure he's in brilliant condition. And he's going to look at Canelo and think, this guy's good, but can I see a way of beating him? Can I? If you can, don't be surprised down the line. Don't be surprised.
The reason I say he's too smart for that is because he's such a technician, a guy that needs precision boxing. As you know, you have to be active, like to come out of a retirement like that, the way he fights.
You look at the condition of him. Look at him now. Does he look like a guy that's let himself go?
No,
do you honestly think that he's
but it's
not going to the gym,
conditioning, Johnny. It's precision. He's such a technician that he's got to stay sharp. He just couldn't possibly be sharp.
I hear that. And you know what? At one time, I was European champion. I didn't defend my title for, I think it was 13, 18 months. And people said Nelson's going to be, he's going to have ring rust. They did not realise I was in the gym every day sparring. I had different sparring partners in. So the only difference between that and what you see out there, Sugar Ray Leonard did it when he boxed Hagler. The only difference, you see it there?
Yeah, you see who do you think won that fight?
But what I'm saying is, look at the performance. Look at the performance that he turned on. So what people are saying is, can he do that? So you're in the gym, you're at home, you're sparring. All the stuff that's away from camera, that gets rid of the ring rust. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there.
Right.
And people might say Nelson's an idiot. Hey, all right.
You know what? I'll give you this. If Ward is doing that, if he's in the gym, or if he's sparring, if he's acting, we just don't know he's behind the scenes. Okay, then yeah, that's that. He'll surprise me and everybody else by coming in fresh.
If they throw enough money at Ward, trust me.
Would you pick him to win?
You know what? I'd pick. That's a tough one. Yeah, I would.
You pick. Yeah, now I really hope it happens. He might win.
Yeah, I would. I just would. And Canelo is an unbelievable fighter. And then you look at the time when he boxed Floyd Mayweather, and he was an unbelievable fighter then. And look at what Floyd Mayweather did because of the sweet science. Yeah. Hit and not be hit, slick, boom, boom. He was on it, and he made Canelo look like a novice. And look at what Canelo's done from that point, because it was that mindset of how you'd be, how you'd box a certain fighter. Andre Ward is one of those fighters, and he had an amazing trainer with him in Virgil Hunt. That you speak to this man, the combat, the art of war, mental warfare, they've got it down to a T. So do not write this man off thinking, nah, he couldn't do it. If he's going to do it, he needs to do it quick before he's a little bit too old. But it's not an impossible ask.
Do you think that Andre Ward is the only real threat out there to Kovalev, if he's even out there? Who else could challenge Canelo right now?
You know what, Canelo, when he boxed Triple G the first time, and the decision went the way it went, I said, "There's no way Canelo's going to fight me again," because you could see he was lost for ideas, lost for thought for what he will do in the next one. Then the next fight he boxed, and he went up another level. And I thought, man, this kid is on fire. And he's improved every time you see him. He's fast, he's sharp, he's strong, he's on point, he's on position. Rate him to the max. I can't see nobody out there that can beat him.
Pound for pound, number one?
Without a doubt. I can't see anybody out there that I can think, he can do it. He's got a good chance because the boy is he's seamless so far.
Sounds like a call to duty to Andre Ward from Johnny Nelson.
Prove me right, my friend. Prove me right, my brother.
And lastly, we've seen Kovalev, I think, give his all. I don't know what he has left. I'm wondering what you think he might have left. Is there a world in which he reclaims that title, or is he done?
I personally think he'll choose to walk away because he's not the sort of fighter that wants to play second fiddle. And if you have dreams and aspirations about being world champion, and you get dealt with when you get to that point, and you know there's no other way around, what is going to motivate you to box? Apart from the pound note, I don't think Kovalev's one of those kind of fighters. I think he's got too much pride to just go in there for the dollar. That's what I just think.
Well, we're here for the dollar. Radio Rahim in Hollywood with Hollywood Johnny Nelson.